Started close friends because you felt like you needed
100%.
that safe space.
100%. Close friends started off as like fun, lit, because I was traveling a lot, and then it was like
motivational and
because I loved it. I loved having this little pocket where I could say a little more, be a little more.
In 2026, B. Simone is leaning heavy into her faith. Like, that's the whole brand now. But hold up, she's still single, over 35, and people online are saying nobody really wants to deal with her because she comes off extra and kind of corny. Listen to this. She talks about God so much that it's actually sparking debates, with some folks defending her and others rolling their eyes.
How much you don't like someone or the things that they've done, I can never be upset at anyone for using the name of the Lord, ever. So...
Now listen, talking about Jesus all the time isn't the issue if your heart is really in it. If you're genuinely trying to walk that Christian path, nobody's mad at that. But hold up, a lot of people don't believe that's truly B. Simone's mission, because historically she's branded herself around, well, herself. And that brings us to her recent sit-down on Earn Your Leisure, where she opened up about a dark season in her life and something painful that went down.
I made $1 million in 30 days. And the month after that, I made $10,000 the very next month.
Why?
Because I was canceled on social media.
Oh, that was the men?
That was in that same time frame, right?
So that's
I went from $1 million month to a 10,000. What percent drop is that? We are in the red. What the code red? Hello, please. We need a new team. What is going? But I said all that to say, dollars don't equate money. You know what I mean? You can be...
Followers don't equate to money.
Yes, I'm sorry, thank you. Followers don't equate money, and you can be here one day, and the consumer is so episodic. One day they're like, oh, well, yesterday you loved the book. You loved everything
episodic?
I said.
Is that the word of the day?
Yeah, episodic. Up and down.
Now listen to this. B. Simone claims she went from making $1 million a month down to just $10,000 a month after she got canceled. A lot of people still think that backlash came from her saying she wouldn't date a 9-to-5 guy during that Nick Cannon interview. And hold up, some argue she wasn't canceled at all, she just got dragged online for a minute. But here's the part folks forget. That's not what really tanked her momentum. The truth is, the real cancellation came from some...
Started close friends because you felt like you needed
100%.
that safe space.
100%. Close friends started off as like fun, lit, because I was traveling a lot, and then it was like
motivational and
because I loved it. I loved having this little pocket where I could say a little more, be a little more like how I used to be before I got canceled in 2020. Still triggering.
That is so...
I literally can make a comment on a blog and y'all be like...
You see, B. Simone went through a situation that was seriously damaging to her reputation. What happened was she used passages and prompts that closely mirrored other authors' published work, released her own book, and started selling it. But once readers noticed the similarities and called it out publicly, she was forced to issue an apology. Even now, critics argue that she has never fully taken complete accountability for how it was handled. And for someone whose brand was built on getting the bag, independence, and high standards in dating, that controversy hit differently because people began questioning the foundation behind the image. Instead of seeing luxury and boss energy, some started seeing shortcuts and poor judgment. In my opinion, what makes it harder for her is that she's rebranded multiple times and now leans heavily into faith-based messaging, which some skeptics feel is just another phase rather than a genuine transformation. When an audience has watched you pivot identities over and over, trust becomes fragile. That's just the reality of public branding. Once credibility takes a hit, everything afterward gets filtered through doubt. And this doesn't apply only to her, it's a broader pattern in influencer culture. When the focus becomes money first, image first, lifestyle first, without consistently building real value or integrity, eventually the public pushes back. You can see similar conversations surrounding figures like Stormy Wellington, where critics debate business ethics, messaging, and the contrast between flashy success and sustainable trust. The issue people keep circling back to isn't ambition, it's authenticity. If you diminish people who work traditional jobs while your own income streams raise eyebrows, the optics become messy. Over time, if customers or supporters feel misled, income declines because trust declines. Instead of slowing down and rebuilding the right way, focusing on appreciation, transparency, and real value, some influencers double down on the same patterns. And when every interaction starts to feel transactional, that energy carries into everything, including relationships. If everything becomes about leverage, status, and what someone can provide, people naturally hesitate. That's why observers look at situations like this and ask why certain personalities struggle to maintain long-term partnerships or loyal audiences. When someone appears overly self-centered or overly focused on image and gain, it can feel emotionally expensive to deal with them. At the end of the day, reputation compounds just like success does, either upward with trust or downward with doubt. When you move through life only thinking about yourself and not about how you can create value for other people, eventually you fade into the background and become less relevant over time. That's the prediction critics make about Simone, that if nothing changes, the momentum slows and the spotlight shifts elsewhere. She's now in her mid-30s, and people argue that her biggest mainstream exposure came during her time on Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon. After that wave, the expectation was expansion, new ventures, stronger industry positioning, broader influence, but critics feel the growth plateaued. Fair or unfair, that's the narrative floating around online. Some also bring up the backlash she received in 2023 after the passing of Jackie O, when people accused her of monetizing private grief through exclusive content. Supporters say everyone processes loss differently. Detractors say it felt insensitive. Either way, moments like that add to an existing trust gap. Now, zooming out, this conversation isn't just about one entertainer. It taps into a bigger issue in influencer culture. If your brand revolves entirely around the bag, independence, and personal gain, but lacks visible long-term value creation or strong professional alliances, sustainability becomes fragile. Some argue that when relationships, whether friendships, business partnerships, or audience trust, start falling apart, it signals deeper issues with reciprocity. Success in entertainment often depends on ecosystems, collaborators, sponsors, platforms, and loyal audiences. When those bridges weaken, opportunities shrink. There's also a broader social angle here. Some people adopt a hyper-defensive mindset. I've been hurt before, so I'm going to prioritize myself at all costs. That may feel protective in the short term, but in a connected industry, extreme self-focus can isolate you. Audiences eventually gravitate toward creators who uplift, collaborate, and build alongside others. If everything feels transactional,